We're expecting the government has done a lot to propel India to where we are in the renewable sector today.
We heard from Hyundai that actually it is all about implementation, but from the vehicular perspective, they are set and looking forward to this big change in Indian e-mobility. Thank you very much.
I think the Honorable Prime Minister has already set the stage for India carbon neutral by 2070, and now the entire country, including all the OEMs and the government, are working towards achieving this dream.
It's about the CII event, it's about the Renewable Energy Conference, along with other power sector as well. Covers the entire gamut of transmission, distribution, generation, basically bringing all the energy sources together to see how we can achieve the Prime Minister's vision of Viksit Bharat by 2047 and Atmanirbhar Bharat in the power sector. So we're expecting the government has done a lot to propel India to where we are in the renewable sector today. What we're looking for is additional support in some specific areas where we need, for example, transmission access to accelerate the build out of renewable energy sources. Also on the distribution side, on the rules and regulations, having a stable framework of policy, also on the manufacturing side, so that we can transition from where we are today towards a completely independent manufacturing sector in India, which is Atmanirbhar. We need a little bit of a runway on that as well. So a number of points, we've all raised them. We had a very good lunch today with the Honorable Minister for Power, along with all the CEOs of the industry. All the points were raised, they were taken, we were discussed in a lot of detail. They were noted and they will be taken forward.
Okay, so if you want to mention one line, what do you want from the government?
A lot of support, less interference, and listening to our issues and problems.
What are the challenges that is there?
As I mentioned, a lot of things on the transmission side. We're seeking support to accelerate the build out of the grid. Also on land and right-of-way issues, because renewables as a sector needs a lot of land. And with land comes its challenges. So having, for example, a nodal officer at the state level who can interact with the central government to push the projects on the ground. This is where the last mile challenges happen, both on the demand side as well as the supply side. And we need some constant involvement of the state and the center to resolve these challenges that we see in our day-to-day operations and construction business.
So the session that I've just chaired was about the future of clean mobility. And, we spoke about very interesting things about LNG for trucks, fostering an ecosystem that will allow clean transportation for heavy-duty vehicles, allowing trucks to travel 4 times the distance without recharging. That seems, frankly speaking, a phenomenal solution, not just for the transportation sector, but also for consumers, for the environment, etc. We spoke about ethanol blending, the targets beyond E20, and what it will take to foster an E27 and an E100 environment where consumers will be able to buy either ethanol 100% or ethanol blended petrol at petrol stations across the country. What was very exciting from the automobile manufacturers is that they're all set. We heard from Hyundai that actually it is all about implementation, but from the vehicular perspective, they are set and looking forward to this big change in Indian e-mobility. Thank you very much.
This event is about alternate energies, and basically the session today was emerging technologies for a cleaner mobility. So it's a very exciting session, and I think the Honorable Prime Minister has already set the stage for India carbon neutral by 2070, and now the entire country, including all the OEMs and the government, are working towards achieving this dream of becoming a self-reliant economy. Auto industry, since ages has always been launching technology products, whether it is the CNG, whether it is the electric vehicle, now going forward the flex fuel vehicle, and also the hydrogen vehicle. I think these are the vehicles which will help us to safeguard our economy, reduce the import of the crude oil, and ensure that whatever material or things we have in India, like the corn, like the sugar cane, they can be used to produce energy compliant vehicles. And I think that's where today we had a very interesting session in terms of the emerging trends in the global economies.
So, sir, after E20 has been rolled out recently. So, how is it going on? What's the success rate and
Well, actually, I would must first of all compliment the entire auto industry and the government of India for advancing the launch of E20 fuel. So from 1st April 2025, Pan India E20 compliant fuel has been launched across the country, and all auto OEMs, all cars, which is the petrol cars, are now compliant and fully compliant as far as E20 gasoline is concerned. We are now in the process of discussing with the government about the higher blends of ethanol. It could be E22, E27, E25, and going forward even E85, which is the flex fuel or the multi-fuel vehicle. So the government is working upon that. Oil marketing companies, the Indian Oil, Bharat Petroleum, Hindustan Petroleum are in touch, and I'm sure very soon we will also hear some announcements coming from the government towards higher blend of gasoline also. Not only this, in fact, Mr. Gadkari recently talked about even in diesel, isobutanol will be something which will be blended even to reduce our import of crude fuel, especially for the diesel purpose. So if that happens, it will be a double-edged sword and will be able to safeguard a lot of money as far as foreign exchange currency is concerned.
Madhya Pradesh has come up with a very landmark low tariff for solar plus storage projects. We have got tariff of 2 rupees 70 paisa. That is for real-time solar and 2 hours of peak power in the evening and 2 hours of peak power in the morning. The interesting part of this project is that the supply during the solar period and the supply during the peak power are at the same level. Unlike all such projects in India where the solar supply has been twice that of the peak period, so which makes our project actually more difficult, more challenging. Also, we have insisted on a 95% availability during peak period, whereas it is only 85% similar projects in the country. So in spite of that, we have got such low tariffs. And I would like to say that we would like to welcome developers to Madhya Pradesh. We make life really simple. We have bankable, viable projects where the risks and uncertainty faced by the developers are substantially diminished. Thank you.